Hey guys, Marshall from Going Gear SHOT Show 2017 in Las Vegas. Here again with Andrew from Surefire. How's it going, man?
It's going well. How are you?
All right, so we just shot.
Never answers my question.
Man, I'm in this zone, and you ask me a question, and you get me out of my zone. I'm doing well. I
just want to know how you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, cool.
No, I'm good. I'm
Got that
good.
out of the way now.
So we did a video on the weapon lights, and we thought it might be good to split it up and do the wrist lights, the headlamps, and the handheld in a separate video. So that's what we're going to do. So you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right.
So first up here, we have the 2211 Signature Series. The difference, you may have remembered the 2211 Luminox, and we still have that, and that's got the Luminox watch movement in there. The Signature Series is a Surefire branded watch movement. So if you look inside, you can see there's a Surefire logo. And the big advantage of this one is that we've pulled some cost out of it. Obviously, Luminox is a high-end watch. It's not a cheap component to incorporate into the system. And so this enables us to cut costs significantly, make this a little bit more approachable for most people. And again, if you're not familiar with the 2211 series, it's a wrist light. The idea being that you have wearable light or illumination with you at all times. You know, headlamp's kind of my go-to, but you can't wear it every day. And this gives you wearable light that you can have with you all the time.
You can.
Yeah, you might look a little weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also you can use this with a gun. I think we've mentioned it before. It's angled off my wrist, so if I was presenting a pistol, you can, you know, it'll be pointing downrange at whatever you're aiming at.
You know, something I discovered when I did a review of the 2211X, is that the small one? Yeah.
Yep.
Is that if you flip it around, it's angled at whatever's in your hands. So
Yep.
if you're doing like close range tasks, they
That's
work really well for that.
Yeah, we've had some medics that say they like to roll it in the inside when they're working on people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of applications, and you really need to kind of use it to find them.
Yep.
At first, from the outsider's perspective, I was definitely skeptical, but it's actually very, very practical and pretty handy.
So the 2211 Signature, is that going to be the rechargeable version, or is that replaceable battery?
It's rechargeable, lithium ion via that micro USB in the rear. So it's a lithium ion rechargeable battery. And that's for the flashlight. Another common question I get. The watch movement has its own battery. And you just remove that by those two screws and those two screws in the back. Take the movement out and you replace the watch battery separate of the battery that powers the light.
Okay, cool. So using your light for an hour won't also kill the watch.
Yeah, exactly. You can still be on time for your meeting. You just might not see on the way there.
Great.
So headlamps have gotten a little bit of refresher. The interface has changed as well as the reflector. So this is the HS2 Max Vision. It's got a Max Vision reflector. Again, really, really wide, even, nice beam pattern, especially for a headlamp. And then there's a rubber push button on the side. I can rotate this around so you can see it a little bit better. And so you push that push button to activate, and then you can still rotate the dial for you know, going from high to low. And there's 12 different settings, all the way up to 300 lumens. It's still one CR123 battery. If you rotate fast, it will dial up fast. Or if you go slow, it'll go through each individual setting. It'll turn on in the output that you turn it off in. So if you turn it off in a low output, it'll turn on in a low output, similarly with high. And yeah, it won't get turned on if it's in a bag or anything because that rubber button's recessed, so interface has changed a little bit.
What is this little piece right here? Is that just to keep the cap on?
Yeah, so that's where you load the battery, and that's just to retain. It's a battery retention lanyard, so you don't lose the battery cap.
Great.
Moving on, something a little interesting accessory that we came out with. The Sidekick's been a really popular light for us. A lot of people are carrying them on their keychains. So this is a little accessory device that enables you to wear it like a headlamp. Angles it straight forward and down, so it's actually pretty usable. Obviously, the Sidekick puts out a lot of light for the little package that it is. It's 300 lumens. It's a lithium-ion rechargeable keychain light. And so now you can have that as a wearable light as well, just a little accessory you can toss in your bag.
Can you adjust the angle on it at all?
Nope, it's fixed. You can adjust your neck, though. I think you can look up and down.
Okay.
So continuing on with our illumination tools, this is the V1C. This was a product that was requested by a specific military customer of ours, and it's basically a V1 package, the Vampire package, which was a white light and infrared handheld. So you would pull and twist to choose between which output you want. On the V1C, it's IR, there's an off position, and then there's a red light. So it's like having a filtered light, but that's what the LED puts out. On the other Vampire, it was between white light and IR. So we were asked to build this specific model, and we were making them for them, and we decided to make it publicly available because there was a request that we were getting from not just one unit, and we think it's definitely got a good application for those in the tactical market, law enforcement, and military as well. Moving on, This is the new iteration of the Aviator. So you might be familiar with the older one that had a center white bulb and then surrounding colored LEDs. These are the same head technology as the Vampires in that you pull and twist to select between different LEDs, and now it's a white light and then a colored LED. They're all 2 output. So the first output's low and the second output's high. There it is. And they're click type tail caps as well. And 250 lumens on the high for white light. And then the output for the for the colored outputs, it depends on the color because different colors look different brightnesses to the human eye. So for instance, I think on the red, the low is like half a lumen. On the blue, it might be even a little bit less. On the yellow-green version, it's a little bit more. And we also do an amber version that you can see right there.
I've been seeing a lot of amber lights lately. What's the purpose of those?
From what I understand, and it's basically for seeing through fog or smoky situations. So whether it's a firefighter or anybody that might be encountering situations like that as well, I think the warmer tones do better in the fog and the smoke. So that's my understanding of it. I can't say firsthand because I haven't done it, but that's the reason for that color to exist.
So tell me again, what are the 4 colors that we have?
So I'll show you right here on the counter. Oh, this one's in white light mode. We'll go back over to red. So we have red, and there's both outputs for that. I think this one's the blue. Both outputs for that. This should be the yellow-green. Yellow-green was gonna go with night vision, so that when you're looking under the green of night vision for long periods of time, it can be a little bit disorienting to look to a different color because your eyes are so used to seeing green. So now when you're looking below your nods or you flip your nods up to read a map or something, it's in the same color tone that you're used to looking at. The last color is that amber that we mentioned before. MSRP on these is $300. So this is the E1v Max Vision. I'm excited for this light just because I really like the form factor of it. You notice that we went away from the Z68 tail cap back to the smaller non-shrouded. It's also got a head that's very similar to the original E1b, so it's very, very comfortable in a pocket. Super low profile. It's 400 lumens, and it's 1/123, and it's got a Max Vision reflector, so it's a really nice, wide, even beam pattern. It's a dual output as well. The second output is low, high first. Click type tail cap. It's got a dual direction pocket clip. I don't believe we have a price on this just yet, but I really like the form factor, and I think that's going to be a very popular light.
What were the 2 outputs?
400 lumens and then 5. 400 lumens on high, 5 lumens on low. G2ZMV, I think we might have covered this last year. Hasn't launched just yet. Max Vision reflector, so the same concept as far as the E1b Max Vision over there. It gives you a nice big wall of light. Not a real defined hotspot, but it's a very big flood. Not a whole lot of candela, but it'll fill up a room and really good for close-in situations. With that combat grip that's meant to be used in conjunction with the pistol, the Max Vision beam pattern is really nice because it's very forgiving. If you don't have the flashlight aligned exactly with the pistol, sometimes you can't see what you're aiming at. With the wall of light or a very big floodlight, you can see everything in your field of view and you don't need to worry about it being exactly aligned with the pistol. So it's kind of a cool advantage with the Max Vision on that. IntelliBeam, we showed this I think previously as well. This is a P3XIB, so it's got the sensor in the bezel and it's the auto adjusting light. So you can see it hit the table and it goes dim and it dials up. And again, this is between 15 and 1,000 lumens, and you can override it with the second push to go to high.
How many different discrete levels are there, do you know?
I don't know the exact number. I know there's several thousand.
Wow.
I can look into it for you. R1IB. So this is the R1. You've seen the R1 before. It's a law enforcement, or it's intended for a law enforcement. And it's a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. It has both a bezel switch as well as a push button on the top. And this particular model also has the IntelliBeam technology. So that's the new update. And this is currently available. It's now shipping. And it's between 15 and 1,000 lumens. So this one's pretty cool. This is a brand new light. This is the Dvr. Dvr stands for dual beam rechargeable. So dual beam as in it has 2 separate reflectors. One is intended for flood. One is intended for spot. The other cool aspect about this light is that it's got IntelliBeam incorporated in it as well. It's a lithium-ion rechargeable. It's got 800 lumen high output. I'll show you the beam pattern right here real quick. So that's the spot. It's got some decent candela, and then that's the flood, and you can see it's a nice wall of light. Put it into IntelliBeam mode right here, and you can watch it adjust automatically. And again, this is 800 lumens in a pretty small form factor, very comfortable to hold in the hand. USB-C, rechargeable.
USB-C, nice.
Yeah, we're trying to get more current.
There you go.
And retail price is $220 MSRP. And it's super lightweight, compact.
And the two switches, they operate the two different LEDs independently?
Yes, exactly. We've been getting a lot of questions, and if we can turn them both on, so just in case you're wondering, you cannot. We might change that down the line, but for right now, it's one or the other. If you use both at the same time, you're going to go through batteries real quick, but it's an individually operated light. So I think that kind of wraps up for the new products for handhelds. Appreciate you stopping by, Marshall. It was good seeing you. And go to surefire.com if you have questions.
Thanks again for your time.
Appreciate it.